All right, this is Ubaid on behalf of Electronics, and in this video we'll be solving word problems. Okay, let's start out with question 85. A manufacturer has determined that the cost in dollars of producing bicycles is given by C at x equals 0.5x squared minus x plus 6,200, where x represents the number of bicycles produced weekly. Figure out the average cost of producing 50, 100, and 150 bicycles. In order to solve this problem, we'll first need to figure out the cost of producing 50 bicycles. So that will be your C at 50 rather than C at X. Okay, once you have that, you will need to figure out the cost to produce one bicycle through cross multiplication. All right, so let's go ahead and solve this equation first. So let's say C at X equals 0.5x squared minus x plus 6,200. Okay, make sure this equation is correct. Okay, that's 0.5x squared minus x plus 6,200. And C at 50 will be 0.5 into 50 squared, okay, minus 50, okay, plus 6,200. All right, so this will be 50 squared, which is 2,500, into zero point 0.5, okay, minus 50 plus 6,200. All right, so zero point 0.5 into 2,500. Let's figure that one out. This is 1,250. Okay, minus 50 plus 6,200. Okay, so this will be 1,200 plus 6,200. So C at 50 will be 7,400. So now that we have C at 50, we can simply cross multiply to figure out the price of one scooter. So we know that 50 scooter, it costs $7,400. Okay, so what's the price for one? Okay, so basically multiply 1 by 7,400, divide by 50 to get X. Okay, so X equals 7,400 divided by 50. Okay, so this will be 7,400 divided by 50. That's $148. Okay, written the other way, what you can do is you write it this way. Okay, so you have $7,400, okay, for 50 scooters. Okay, so this is $7,400 for 50 scooters. So let's say S multiplied by 1S. You want the price for one scooter, right? Cancel the S. 7,400 divided by 50 will be $148. All right, let's move on to the next word problem. Okay, so further down, the cost in dollars of producing custom lighting fixtures is given by the function C at x equals x squared minus 20x plus 1,200. Okay, so let's write this down. So this is C at x. Okay, let's write this down. C at x equals x squared minus 20x plus 1200 equals x squared minus 20x plus 1200. Okay, so C at x. Okay, this is for 20 lighting fixtures. So we'll do 20. Okay, this is equal to 20 squared minus 20 into 20 plus 1200. Okay, so this will be 20 squared, which is 400 minus 400 over here as well, plus 1200. All right, so this will be $1,200 to produce 20 scooters or to produce 20 lighting fixtures. All right, so we know that it's $1,200 to produce 20 lighting fixtures. Okay, you'll need to figure out the average cost per unit. Again, you can either cross multiply, okay, or you can write it in this format. Okay, so let's say $1,200, okay, for 20 lighting fixtures. So let's say LF, okay, or units, times this by 1 LF to figure out the price of one. Okay, so this will be $60. Okay, so $60 will be the price of one lighting fixture. All right, next up. Okay, this one has to do with electric scooters. Okay, so further down, a manufacturer has determined that the cost in dollars of producing electric scooters is given by the function C at x equals 3x, x minus 100 plus 32,000. Okay, so C at x, okay, C at x equals 3x into x minus 100. Okay, this is 3x into x minus 100. Okay, plus 32,000. All right, so now we're trying to figure out the price for 50 scooters. Okay, so C at 50 will be 3 into 50. Okay, so 3 into 50. Okay, into 50 minus 100. Okay, plus 32,000. All right, so this will be 50 into 3. Okay, which will be 150 into, okay, 50 minus 100. This will be negative 50 plus 32,000. All right, which means that this will be 150 into negative 50. All right, so let's do that on a calculator. So 150 into 50 negative This will be negative 7,500 plus 32,000. So it will be 24,500. Okay, this is C at 50. So cost to produce one scooter. Okay, this will be $24,500 divided by, you have 50 scooters, so 50S multiplied by 1S. Okay, so, okay, this will be 490 to produce one scooter. Okay, so the cost to produce one scooter will be $490. All right, let's move on to the next one. The cost in dollars of producing a custom injected molded part is given by CNN equals 1900 plus 0.01 N, where N represents the number of parts produced. Okay. Figure out the average cost of each part if 2,500 custom parts are ordered. Okay, so you have 2,500 custom parts. We're trying to figure out C at N. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this equation. So C at N, this equals 1900 plus 0.01 N. All right, so now we need to figure out the cost to produce 2,500 parts. So C at 2,500. This is equal to 1,900 plus your N, which is 2,500. This is 2,500. Okay, this is 1,900 plus 0.01 times this by 2,500. This is 25. 25 plus 1,900. Okay, so 25 plus 1,900. This is equal to 1,925. So this is the cost to produce 2,500 units. Okay, this will be 1,925. So this is 2,500 units. All right, so if you go back, it's asking us for the average cost per unit of each part. All right, so average cost for each part. So we know that this is 2,500. So 1,925 over 2,500 units multiplied by 1 unit. Okay, 1,925 divided by 2,500. This will be, okay, 0.77 or 77 cents. So cost of production is 70 cents per unit. Okay, so this is basically how you solve word problems. On behalf of Electronics, this is Ubay. Have yourself a great day.